Steve, we've got two lads out of the weekend. We've got Lyndon Arthur defending his Commonwealth light heavyweight belt against Spelman, and the day afterwards we've got Nathan Bennett against Dalton Smith on the Matchroom show. One in Lyndon Arthur probably being a big favourite, and Nathan Bennett has probably been a big underdog.
Yeah, and that's how people look at them, but they're both capable of upsetting the apple cart, aren't they? And taking Lyndon first, you know, he didn't look particularly great on his last fight, Lyndon, did he? Whereas before, everything was perfect with him, wasn't it? You know, probably a couple of little four-rounders where he didn't shine, but all the others he's been looking fantastic in getting stoppages with big punches against tough kids and stopping them. So, you know, you'd have to put him as a big, heavy favourite. But Dex Spellman's no mug, and he's going to come and have a fight, and I think Lyndon knows that he can't have any condor moments. He's got to be switched on. Now, if he's switched on and turns up, yeah, he will win it, and he should win it comfortably and look good. But he is going to have a fight, and Dex Spellman's going to put it on him, and I think that's one of the reasons why Lyndon's got a good chance of being the standout and shining on Friday night, and stepping him up into a situation where he won't be such a big of a underdog against Yardy, which he would have been. I think this fight and what's happened is making it better for the Yardy. It'd be another fight of experience on the TV, and he's come at a good time for him.
Is he topping the bill on that night?
I believe so, yeah.
Yeah. And then the night afterwards, on the Saturday night, we've got Nathan Bennett against Dalton Smith. Dalton is ex-GB boy, 5-0 as a pro, full stoppages, seems to be doing everything right.
Yeah. Listen, I think Nathan called him the golden boy yesterday, didn't he? And you know, he was highly thought of in the GB setup, and we've known about him before he even turned pro. But he's been impeccable as a pro and looked very good. But he's 5-0, not been tested. Nathan's 9-1, could have been 10-0, and like he said, he was 10-0. They probably wouldn't have took the fight. They took the fight because he's had that lossage on him, which I understand that, and I think it's a tighter fight than the bookies are showing it, and certainly it's one that wouldn't be a big upset for me if Nathan was to go and turn him over. I mean, he is the outsider and the underdog, but you know, I'm looking at the timing of it, and the timing's right. And I remember the first time he even met Nathan, all he wanted to do was have a good tough fights and fight on the TV and make a living out of boxing, and what an opportunity on Saturday night for him to go and upset the apple cart and put himself in a good position. So I'm looking forward to that fight. As I say, he's not the favourite, but he's in with a good chance.
Right. Now, I've just been going round to the gyms now, everything's open again, chatting to the fighters, and they're all asking me, when do you think we're going to get out? Now, we've been given a date, October the 1st, by the government, saying that we can start having audiences back in there. Do you think you might do some dinner shows or something?
I'll do them as soon as they're workable, and if it's October, it'll be October for us. What we need to know first is not just the numbers that we're allowed into the venues and how we're going to police it, should we say, and secure it and make sure that the social distancing is kept to that we're told from the government, but the conditions that the board are putting on us to apply, because I've been seeing what's going on these non-TV shows, and you know, like cleaning the ring in between fights and shielding and having to put people up 4 days in hotels and do all the testings and everything like that. It's just not unmanageable for us non-TV promoters doing the small halls. So you know, extra costs and smaller numbers wouldn't work for us. But I'm hoping, or what I'm thinking is, if the numbers are down and the overheads aren't too big with the testing and security, we'll probably do a few dinner shows, you know, because the public want to get out, and I think we'd sell the tickets and go, and whether it's a table of 12 and we have to put 6 on, keeping the meter space and the waitress services, I think that'll work. Now, if you can have a crowd there and not have the restrictions, we'll do it. We might have to do like an hybrid show where we have the dinners and then some kids not having a dinner, just coming as normal, but spaced out. So we'd have to put the seats with gaps in between them. But you know, I'm waiting to get the information where it means that we can go ahead and do it, and as soon as we can. I've told the lads, you know, we'll be going, so I have got a couple of venues on hold for October, but I've advised them just in pencil at the moment until we find out. But yeah, it's a positive sign, so it's not October, I don't expect November, and God willing we'll have the Jolly Boys in December, and I'm already thinking of doing a couple of Jolly Boys in Manchester, a couple of Jolly Boys in Liverpool, just to make sure the lads get work before Christmas, yeah.
Do you think also, you know, I've spoken to a lot of the fighters, do you think we're going to have more 50, because you started doing it over the last few shows where we've been making the top of the bill a real 50-50 fight.
Yeah.
Do you think that's going to happen a little bit
yeah,
more often now?
It's got to happen, and you know what, I don't think the kids are bothered about it either, you know, and as you say, we was putting more of our own kids together than we ever have done, and I still want to go along that line, but if we're doing a show, people want value for money and they want to see fights. So yeah, you know, area titles will be a minimum for us, and you know, you don't get a bad area title, I don't think. So
I've never seen one. Not on our show. Anyway.
Yeah. So yeah, we're going to match them, and the other kids will have to be matched a little bit tougher as well, because to go on the TV fights, you know. They're under restrictions, and they've got so many contracted fighters they're going to get out. You know, the lads are going to have to fight one of Frank's or Eddie's kids on the shows.
Well, one last question. Obviously, we're not going to be able to bring the foreign imports in, and I've been going around to a lot of the gyms, speaking to a lot of kids that are looking to turn over, you know, make a pro career, perhaps not have that much amateur experience, maybe coming from the white collar. That could make things really interesting as well for those learning fights for our kids that we believe are prospects. You know, they could be put in with a kid who might only be 1-1 or 0-2 or something like that, or 1-2 or something, but we don't know really much about them, so that could make those learning fights even more of a learning fight, if you know what I mean, because they're going to have that fear factor. They're not getting in with a guy that they know is there probably going to lose, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, I mean, it's mad, isn't it? You wouldn't expect people were wanting to turn pro at the one, but the number of phone calls I'm having from people, and as you know, I'm trying to wind down, and we're passing a few over.
You wind down?
Yeah. Well, the last few months have been great. I'm becoming a pro golfer at the moment. Yeah. But no, I think you know, I'm passing a few over to James Russell to manage for kids who want to go on the road, and you know, obviously that means he can fight my kids on my shows. So yeah, you know. We're going to put the kids in earlier testing fights than they have been, and you know what, I'm looking forward to it, and so are the kids.
Yeah, right, that's what I'm looking forward to all this starting then. Fingers crossed for the weekend, we get and still.
Yeah, it'd be nice, yeah.
And a new superstar, because if he beats Dalton Smith, Nathan Bennett, that's the bracket he's going to be elevated into.
Yeah, and I get 100 quid off Sonny Edwards.
See you later, mate.
Bye.
For all boxing info, news and latest interviews, amateur and pro, across the north, click and subscribe. VIP Boxing Promotions. Also Twitter, Instagram and Facebook.